Hello viewers, this is your favorite BC show, and as usual I'm your host Andrea Kenzie, and the Vital Show brings you nothing but the best concerning our vital concerns in the society pertaining to ourselves and also everything that's necessary. And today with me I have two handsome gentlemen with me, and we are here to talk about the role of leadership in the 21st century. And I'm sure they are well versed in this area, that's why we invited them here. So without wasting my time, we will delve into this issue. We know leadership, all of us, we've heard leadership in one way or the other, but not all of us are able to articulate what leadership actually means and what, when we say leadership, the do's and don'ts associated with it. So today, as I made mention, I have two handsome gentlemen with me. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So we will get to our first guest. Your name and your name.
My name is Osun Kansaidi.
Okay. Then our next guest.
I'm Abdul Derek.
Okay. So welcome to the BC show.
Thank you.
Let's hear from you. So we will delve into the issue. I made mention that the theme today is the role of leadership in the 21st century. And I'm sure you both have much insight when we talk about what leadership is about, since you are various aspirants. Sure. So when we talk about Mr. Nkansa, who is Mr. Nkansa?
My name is Osun Kansaidi. Currently, year 2 student in the University of International Relations. I completed my JHS in the Northern Region, that's Tamale International School. Then later, I went to Pempekali, that's the Sofula Boys, one of the best schools in the country, like the best school actually. My hobby is playing games. I like playing games. I like people, especially, and a bit of football. Yes. Currently, I'm a member of the Public Relations Committee for UNE this year.
So thank you very much for that. So we will get to our second guest.
And as I also mentioned earlier, I go by the name Abdul Derek, and I completed St. Michael Boys in the Upper West region. When we go to the Upper West region, we have two major big schools there. We have St. Michael Boys, we have St. James. We've been challenging each other. Yeah, so that's what happens. I like, when I was there, I occupied some leadership positions. In year 2, I was the organizer for my house. When I got to year 3, I then became the senior entertainment committee member. So that's how my leadership experience started from.
Since you are both leaders in one way or the other, when you say a leader, how would you be able to articulate it to somebody who has heard what leadership is but doesn't actually have the insight about what it actually means?
I would say a leader or a good leader possesses some attributes or features. That's it should be visionary, courageous, good in communication, stuff. Yeah, that's a bit I know about leadership.
Okay. So Mr. Derry, when we say a leader, who is a leader?
Yes, when you occupy a leadership position, you enter into a sanctum of democracy, facilitation, coordination between you and your people. We have a lot of people that you are leading, so you have to know how to solve problems, you have to be visionary, you have to know how to handle issues with them, how to communicate effectively with them. So that's how a leader should be. You have to be a coordinator, a facilitator, and a problem solver. Yeah, that's how I see it.
So we made mention of democracy. My viewers, I'm sure not everybody understands what actually democracy is. So when we say democracy, what at all is democracy?
Oh, in simple terms, democracy is accepting the views of all people. For instance, in my department, I'm the head of the department. I can't say because I'm the head of the department, I should do things in the way I want. I should always listen to my people, listen to their grievances, their concerns. Yes. So that's how a leader should be. You should be a democratic person. listen to the views of your people, their concerns, and work for them.
Okay. So would you also agree with him when he says the leader should be democratic?
Yeah, it's true, because being a leader, democracy is very important. That's so you can't just take your opinion and do things on your own. You need to consult people. People will bring views to be expressed. Then you focus on that, come and bring it together and bring out an outcome.
So don't you think that democracy breeds disunity, because each and everybody is bringing out their views? So
okay, in a way, it doesn't bring disunity, because it will depend on how things are arranged. Let me cite this example. In Ghana, when we are about to vote, voting is a form of democracy. Yes. So it's how they arrange the vote, how maybe when an aspirant gets 50 plus 1 vote, is a win for the person. So we all know that as we are going to vote, we have to target 50 plus 1. Yes. So when we vote in that manner, we know the procedures to do it. It doesn't bring any conflict. But when it is disorganized and anyone is just haphazardly showing concern anyhow, that can bring conflict. So it depends on the arrangements, how things are arranged. And I think in a democratic world, there is a constitution guiding every, I don't know how to put it.
every organization.
Every organization. So it depends on the kind of rules. And if you follow the constitution very well, it wouldn't bring any conflict.
Okay. So Mr. Nkata, do you also agree with him on what he's saying? Because in democracy, people will be bringing their views. So as a leader, how well will you be able to look at these views, and come up with a conclusion that this is what is right for the association?
Okay. I would say being in the democratic world, before you do something or you see something, the communication is very important. The way you communicate it to people, and their feedback might be a bit harsh, but you relaxing for the problem and telling them, like taking express views from different angles, it's the best.
Do you also agree on the notion that majority carries the vote in leadership?
Of course, but when it comes to leadership, when you bring something like a policy, you have to first of all make your stakeholder analysis. All the people involved, or the people who are arguing among each other. You have to make a stakeholder analysis. You have to call all of them, listen to their grievances. You people, you are the minority, what are you saying? You are the majority, what are you saying? Then you explain to them, maybe this policy we are bringing, this is how, this the way is going to benefit us. These are the advantages and these are the disadvantages. You just let them understand the policy you are bringing. Let them understand it first. If they don't understand it, they are going to maneuver over it, or just be haphazardly talking anyhow. Yes. So you have to, understanding is the key. Explain to them and analyze the reasons why they are opposing your policy. Very good. When you also understand them, it will make things very easier.
So you think as a leader, when you bring out your policies and people are against it, you should boycott it?
No, you shouldn't boycott it. When you bring it out, as I said earlier, when you bring it out and they are against it, explain to them, this is what are the reasons why we are bringing this policy. You understand? And you also listen to their grievances, why you are bringing that, why they are also opposing you. So when you listen to them and you realize that they have a good point, then why not?
So we all know that in a society we have recalcitrant people that no matter what you bring about, they have a problem with it. They criticism as a leader.
Yes.
How well would you be able to counter it? Because as a leader, definitely people will criticize whatever you do.
Yes. In every society we have such people, and you have to, when you start implementing something like that, you realize those people. You realize that they are bringing confusion and hard things. You just call them somewhere and advise or talk to them. They need counsel. Yeah, no matter what you do, those people will always complain. So they need counsel. Explain to them what they are doing is not going to help the good improvement. You know, we have goals. If you begin to bring those, how do I say it, those fights and things, it will delay, even though you might accomplish your goal, but it will delay the processes. Yeah, you have to explain to the person to know what he's doing is going to affect what your goals and objectives.
So, Mr. Nkata, do you think that when people are recalcitrant in a society, they are always criticizing whatever you do, you can call them and talk to them? Because there are some people, no matter what you do, they are against you. So, how well will you talk to such people?
Those people, during maybe, if, for example, you organize a program, then there's something you want to do, then they are against it. Most of the time, they will talk harsh in front of you, like within your people. So sometimes you just need to be quiet. Then maybe when the things settle, you call them back or like talk to them. Then you make sure you let them get the reason why you are doing those things.
Some people won't even come. Do you think that when you call such people, they will even come in the first place? Because first of all, they are against you.
Yes.
So do you think that when you come,
that's where you have to bring your leadership qualities. Yes. If they don't come, you are the leader. Approve them. Go to where they are. You understand? It's a problem within that community. Go to them. You are the leader. You want to solve the problem. So go to them. Take every measure to work. Don't wait for the person to come because you are the boss or something. That's kind of authoritative. So
sometimes effective communication is very important. The way you talk to them will make them know whether they will come or not. So for example, you just go there, just start shouting at them, they won't come. But you calm down, you talk to them, they will listen to you. At least they will abide by what you say.
Don't you think some people use your leniency to be your weakness? Because the fact that you've been able to walk to them straight ahead, or you've been able to go to their comfort zone, don't you think they would rather misbehave because you have come to them? They think you rather leave them.
It depends on the communications too, as he said. It depends on the way you talk to the person. When you go and you start talking in a harsh way to the person, it might even bring further conflict or confusions. So it depends on the way. When you just study the person and know who in our local that will be offering more, and you just take the person to them and talk to the person. You say offering and yeah, at least you listen to the two of them. That's how also.
So in our campus, that's Dormaa Campus, there is no participation when we organize programs. You all can bear with me. So with such a problem, it's there. No matter what you do, even if the program is so overhyped, people won't come. They'd rather stay in here. I believe that what can you do?
First of all, you have to explore the factors why people are not participating in programs. For instance, when we came to level 100, most of the programs were done at the old campus, and you just realize that walking from the hostels to that place is very stressful. So that's one of the factors. So you just have to sit down, outline the factors why people are not bringing or participating in programs. So in the example I just cited, you can bring the program to the field behind front gate. You know, that place is very close to the hostel. So someone might not feel bored or lazy walking there. It's very close. So, but when you send it to the old campus, sometimes some programs are there myself. Yes, it's very hard.
But do you know that there are some programs that take place on the place you are suggesting and people still don't participate?
That's why I said that might not be the only factor. There might be other factors. That one you have to sit down and analyze it. Yes, and now take the actions towards it.
Okay. So, Mr. Nkata, what's your take on this?
I'll side with our current president. Sometimes the programs, the venue that their venues are not sometimes conducive. Talking about campus, because if you organize a program and you're supposed to walk from front gate to this Scottish sound, sometimes it's not conducive. And some of the students here will be like, the program will be nice. They will draw assumption that the program will be nice, will influence, and they will influence some of their colleagues not to come. That program will end there. At least we are massive. So sometimes influence from students also makes the program down.
So you are all suggesting that we do it at the front gate. Have you also taken into consideration the other hostels around, those who are also staying in town? Somebody coming all the way from town to this place. Don't you think campus is rather closer to such a person?
That was an example I just cited. I just give an example like the distance factor. So there might be other factors, but that one you have to sit down and analyze.
I get it, yeah. But he was also suggesting that he supports your notion as to why they should rather bring it to the front gate. But you know there are other hostels around.
Yeah.
And there are people from town too.
You see, we taking front gate to be our venue for most of the programs. Front gate has a bigger space that can contain most of the students. And walking distance from TB or triple blended, say 1 to front gate is not quite good. And majority of the students are around front gate. That's the reason why most of the programs are being held at front gate. So for a larger space, then other things.
Okay. So we are still on the BC show, and I'm your host Andrea Kenzie. I have with me two handsome gentlemen, Mr. Nkansa and Mr. Derry. So we'll go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
And I'm a student of the University of Energy and Natural Resources. And this is the BC Talk Show.
The vital concerns of you as an individual and as a student.
Join me on the BC Talk Show.
And let's enjoy all the happy moments.
Place for planners in terms of workshop. Most of our workshop meeting various hostels which are not conducive for us to do the workshop, yes. So there are many more, but I think these are the two I will be down.
So with your second policy, that's the gallery. Looking at the infrastructure level or the infrastructure that's junior Dormaa Campus we have, do you think you can be able to achieve such a policy? Because even with lecture halls, we are battling with lectures and stuff. So do you think you can get an infrastructure to aid in that gallery or your policy that you want to establish?
Yes, in a way, yes. Not in a way, yes. You can get an infrastructure.
That's why.
Yeah. If not on a new campus, the most appropriate place is the old campus, where people can come without any transportation.
Now they are using all the rooms for offices and laboratories.
Yeah. Oh, there are some rooms in the old campus that we can use as a place for workshop.
Which you've inquired that they said it's there.
Yes.
If you are given the opportunity, if you have the go ahead, you can do it.
Yes.
Okay, sure. So this is what Mr. Nkansa is saying. He said with his skills fair and his gallery, I'm sure if probably you give him the mandate, he can do it. And Mr. Derry is also saying that he wants to help in the attaining of membership in the GIP and what else?
In fact, my second policy is kind of crashing with is I'm planning on also getting a workshop studio. So you go to PNUST, they have a studio where they do all their workshop activities. They have, when you enter there, they have all these tools and everything that aid them in doing their workshop activities. But first, I realized that now when we approve the school authorities for a workshop studio, we don't have the tools that we will use inside there. We just call it a studio without anything inside. So first of all, I thought of getting those materials first. yes, as I'm getting them, I'll be also communicating with the school authorities if we can get some, then we just.
So since your policies are crashing, that's in relation to the gallery establishment, what is so different from yours that will make yours distinct? That's innovation. When everybody wants to set up a gallery, what is so different from yours that will be different from?
As I said, getting the tools is very necessary, but getting to, you see, being a department, you need to establish further friendship bond with other schools. So I spoke to the president for GASP in the UST. He gave me some ideas on how to go about things. So with these ideas,
that will make yours distinct from his own. Okay, so Mr. Derry, when yours too, what innovative idea will you bring when you are able to establish the gallery?
Oh, with that one, we have a lot. When you enter the studio, you have to see a lot of things. You have to see by yourself that this is a planning workshop studio. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you before. When you enter, first of all, you have to see something like these reflectors that we put on that when we go for what do we call it? When we go around the various communities for workshops and for information. And a lot. In fact, we have to do the inquiry before we can talk about this.
Okay. So, any last words to the people out there, the people you aspire for them to vote for you?
Oh, okay. My final words for them is that the change they were hoping for, I've started with it, and I'll urge them to continue to give me the power to continue the good works I'm doing. So that's what I can tell them for now.
Okay, sure. And Mr. Neri, and Mr. Kansa?
Yeah. As my motto goes, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Yes. And before any goal is set, you have to plan. Plan is a link between knowledge and action. You have to have a knowledge, then the middleman with the plan, and then the action take place. So I urge them to vote for me, and surely I'll do what is right for them. Thank you.
So with the conversation that we had today on the VC show, I, Andrea Kenzie, being your host, and having with me Mr. Kansa and Mr. Derry. So shout out to
shout out to Kay, Miami, Brown, Chance, Moaz, Ifa, then my senior mate, Kiki.
And to you, any shout outs to you?
First of all, I was extend warm greetings to our HOD, and also extend a warm greeting to the GASP President, and my campaign team. I have Atisu Rock, I have Ashraf Mohammed, shout out to Franklin, shout out to Safwa Presla, Edward Boy, and all my campaign teams. And shout out to all my supporters, those who are willing to vote for me, and those who are not willing to vote for me too. Shout out to you all.
Yes, sure. All aspirant for GASP presidency, so they've told you a bit about their policies and what they aspire to do when they are voted into power, and the role in which leadership positions or leaders play in our various departments. So see you next time. It's still the VC show. Let's hear from you.
Who nurtured me, in fact, from JHS, then getting to Mr. Emmanuel Abe, who he has really made an impact in my life. In fact, they are the reason why I'm in this.
Boyedo is my name. I grew up from this.